Good morning, students. Welcome to the online class. We'll continue the chapter 1 computer hardware internal and external hardware devices. In the previous class, we have seen the different external hardware devices which are to be connected for the properly functioning of the system. In this class, we'll see the different internal hardware devices which are required while using the properly functioning of the system. Along with that, we'll see the networking device modem also. Let's discuss the modem first. It is a networking device which is used to connect a computer with the network. Basically, modem is created from two different words, modulator and demodulator. The data stored in a computer, they are in the binary form, that is in the digital form. It is quite difficult to send that particular data throughout the network. When computer sends something on a network, modem will convert data into the signal so that it can easily travel over the telephone lines. This process is known as a modulation. So the data will be transferred in the form of signals. At the another end, when a computer receives something from a network, modem will convert the signals into the computer understandable form, that is in the binary form again. This process is called the demodulation. You can see the picture of a modem in the given slide. Now let's discuss the different internal hardware devices. The first one is the motherboard. As the name indicates, it is the electronic centerpiece of the computer. Each and every devices, whether they are internal or external, they are connected with the motherboard. You can see the picture of motherboard. Different circuits are there and every devices will be connected with the motherboard. Next is the power supply, which is also known as SMPS. SMPS means switched mode power supply. As we know that the power supply in our home or offices is of high voltage, whereas a system requires very low voltage power, as all the components require the low voltage. If we will give a high voltage, then there might be possibility that the different components may be damaged due to high electric supply. So SMPS converts high voltage power into a low voltage power. This power supply is very important and useful for the different components. Next is the processor or CPU. CPU means Central Processing Unit. It is also known as the brain of the computer. All the actual computation will take place in the CPU. All the work inside the computer will be controlled by CPU. It is the main processing unit of our computer. Next is RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory. It stores data temporarily. RAM is used for the temporary storage. Now the question is, as we have a permanent storage devices, then why would we require a temporary storage device? So while carry out some instructions or any calculations, sometimes the computer will generate intermediate result or intermediate calculation, which we are required to store only for a short interval of time. That means that data is to be required to store temporarily. After some time it should be deleted automatically. So for this purpose we require RAM. So CPU holds this kind of temporary data into the RAM. RAM cannot store data permanently. Sometimes the data will be deleted automatically, and in between the processing or instruction, suppose if the power is turned off, then also we lose each and every data or instructions from the RAM. That means if the power is turned off, the RAM will be deleted. Next is different ports and connectors. As we know that the different input and output devices are required to connect with the CPU. These all the devices are connected in a different ports and different connectors. You can see in the image that the different ports are given for the different devices. These all ports are at the back of your desktop PC. For each and every different peripherals, that is different devices, the different ports are available. Next is the hard drive or hard disk. It is the main storage device of the computer. In the hard disk, data will be stored permanently. That means if we want to store data for a longer duration or for the longer time period, then we will use hard disk. Each and every files or each and every data which we are creating in the system, and then we are storing, that all the files are being stored or saved on a hard disk. As long as we will not delete the data by ourselves, the data or the files remains in the hard disk for the longer period. The operating systems and all the softwares which are there in the systems are stored in the hard disk. So we are using hard disk for our permanent storage. With this, we are completing the first chapter. Here are few questions. The answers of each and every questions are available in the video, so you can note down in the notebook. Thank you.